Good afternoon. Welcome to Rochdale. So we're here to have a chat with Ben Howard, number 544, the Formula 1 GP Williams mechanic, just to see what's going on, what's he doing with the cars, how he got involved in Brisca Formula 1, etc. Yep, not too bad the weather-wise today. Obviously, Rochdale, we've got a good history connected with Brisca Formula 1, with the Smith family and others as well. So we'll just pan round and we're going to say good afternoon, Ben. How are you?
Hello. Very well, thank you.
Well, thank you very much for doing this. I do really appreciate it.
Right.
See, Richard Wilson's the first one watching, so why is he not working, you lazy git? We'll just have a quick chat, if that's okay, about your past racing history, how you got involved in Brisca Formula 1. Yeah. We've had quite a lot of questions about GP, actually, if that's okay. And then we've got a few from Ricky as well, so he's got his own little section of questions, which some serious, some not so serious, so know with him. And then just take it from there, if that's all right with you. Yeah, brilliant, excellent. So first of all, that's probably Ricky Wilson, actually. Oh, yes, it is. I knew you were going to do this, Ricky.
He's going to get the red button.
Hey, he's getting rejected. Yeah, he's probably used to that anyway. Yeah. So we're going to start with previous to Brisca Formula 1 then. So what other forms of motorsport have you actually done yourself?
Started off on two wheels, actually.
Right.
Motorbikes. Used to race British Enduro Championship.
Okay.
Did that from, well, since I was about 15. Mm-hmm. Got well into it. Like I say, I got up to British spec. Got a ride for a little team and stuff. But then that all kind of stopped because of work and injuries and things. So it was basically, racing at that level. You always fall off.
Yes,
and when you fall off, it hurts. So we're breaking a lot of bones and bruises and messing myself up. Right. And work eventually just said, listen, it's either you're here to work or you go and play on your bike. So I had to stop the two wheels. So
of course.
So that was that, and then me being me, just got bored. I need to have something to do and whatnot. So I've always followed stock cars.
Okay.
My dad was best friends with Stuart Smith Senior.
Right.
So like Stuart had his racing community friends, and then once there was no racing, he had a set of friends back at home, and my dad was one of them. So I always followed it. I obviously good friends with young Stuart, but that was more of out of stock cars as well. I didn't really used to go to the meetings or anything, but
okay.
We'd go out for beers or go fishing and stuff like that. So it really started and boiled in from that, really.
Excellent.
So yeah, it was bite the bullet, and I hired a F2 first of all. I didn't really just want to buy one just in case.
Yeah.
I didn't get on with it or whatever. So yeah, I hired one from the Mitchells for a couple of seasons.
Right. Okay.
At TMR, which are not far from us. And then bit the bullet again and bought my own F2. So that was it. And then we're going to F1, and that's it. There's no looking back then.
No looking back now. No.
So, that's where we are.
Excellent. And why the number 544? Because we've had a few people just asking that. Which.
So my race number on my bike was number 4, and then couldn't get number 4 in the F2. So the closest I could get was 44. Okay. Everyone said I copied Lewis Hamilton. Well, I didn't. It's just the way it happened. And then with the F1, 44 wasn't available, or 4, because obviously Dan's got that. So we just stuck a 5 in front of it.
Right, okay.
That's it. That's how it's happened, really.
Brilliant. Well, we've got quite a lot of drivers who are watching. Sam Jacklin, Paul Hines, Ricky Wilson. Well, driver Ricky Wilson.
His car's there that he's given me for Christmas.
And Christmas present with it. Oh, excellent. That's not too bad, is it? Brilliant. Any drivers who are watching, any questions for Ben, do pop them on. It's always good to get questions live from people who are watching, which would be brilliant. Got a few Formula 1 type questions. First of all, the Brisca Formula 1, if that's okay. First of all, how did the Sky situation come about with having the Williams lads and that was, Martin Bundle and everything?
That all came from the win at Birmingham last year, when I won the gala meeting. That came and got back to work, and then the marketing department basically forwarded to, it ended up in the Autosport magazine, Motoring News, and then Sky just picked up on it. I mean, I came back to work, and I got an email saying, "Can you come up to the office?" I'm thinking, I'm in
crap.
Shit.
Yeah.
Because I'd literally come from work,
right,
then to Birmingham. I didn't have any kit with me, so I basically took my pit stop overalls from work. Right. So I rocked up at Birmingham with the current pit stop up, which not many use.
Okay.
So I'm thinking, because of all the
You're
pictures,
in trouble for that.
I thought I'm in a bit of bother. But it wasn't. They were saying that Sky had contacted them, saying they want to do like a bit of a showdown with the two drivers. Brilliant. Would you be interested? I was like, what? Of course. But then I had to obviously organise it, which was a bit of a pain in the ass. But you know, I think it turned out good, and you know, everyone enjoyed it. And hey, it was good. At the end of the day, it's good for the sport. That's all I wanted to do. Is push the sport, get it out there to get it on TV.
Yeah, because I've watched it myself, and there was quite a bit of respect from the GP drivers for what they were driving, because they said they were hard to drive and they had fun and stuff like that. They didn't sort of belittle it at all, did they?
No, I think they were. It did open their eyes a little bit. They just thought stock cars, you know, muddy, dirty,
old bangers and stuff,
kind of thing. But then, you know, once, because we had like 6 cars there, you know, Frank was there, and we did like a demo, like 10-lap race, just to show the guys how fast they actually go, you know, what it's like with a bit of bumper work and stuff. And I remember the faces. They were stood like on the banking at Northampton, going into turn 4, and they were like stepping back, and they were gobsmacked. So I think it did open their eyes a bit. And then obviously once they got in the cars, they were just spinning, and you didn't see that because it was all off.
It was all edited, wasn't it?
But, no, it was really good, and like I say, it was. I think they all enjoyed it. Well, in fact, George sent me a Christmas card this week, and at the bottom it says he's ready for round 2. So
well, we'll have to get him to King's Lynn meeting or something first, won't we? Well, we've had a couple of questions come in live already. Joshua Beatty, cheers for your question. How's the car rebuild going? Well, I can just pan back, and we can actually just say what's going on. So basically, you cut everything off. Yes. Really?
No, I've been kindly looked after by Warren and Will Hunter. You know, the car's a few years old, but you know, it's a proven car. It's a good chassis, but you know, I like a bit of a big job, so want it to be a bit of my own. So I'm going to change a few little things, but the plan is get it done before I go back to work in January. So I've got like
you've got to get a shift on, Got
to get a shift on just to especially prove Mr. Wilson wrong, because he reckons I ain't going to get it ready in time, but I am.
Well, he's got no room to talk. He takes all year to do it, doesn't he?
Exactly.
Matt Sargent, hello Mark, how are you doing, mate? Typical level of question from you, thank you very much. What beard wax do you use? And I'm not going to say the second part of that question, Mark, because this is going out live, I'll get in trouble. So do you use beard wax?
No, I don't even know what beard wax is. I thought that's for old people.
Well, it is for Mark Sargent, so come on.
I don't think he can grow a beard, can he, Mark Sargent?
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't think he can. I'll have to ask my dad. I don't know. I don't use it.
Brilliant. Rod Matthews has asked, how was Fenway when you went over?
I loved it. That was on the bucket list. You know, I tried to plan it for last year, but things didn't come together. But you know, like I've got to praise Ricky for much of an idiot he is. He's done so much for me, and for him to take me, and like we got a little team together. We went testing, you know, and I just loved every minute of it. It was an amazing experience.
Brilliant. Okay, so this is a question from a couple of people actually, and it's quite a long one actually. General feeling around the whole motorsport family about oval racing. So, do you think that we are looked down upon from the other forms of motorsport? And another sort of question further on that is, with the British Greek GP being so well supported, people pay like a couple £100 to see cars that just flash in front of them. Do you think, even where they only have to pay like £20 to see the whole of the action for us, why do you not think that we're not as big as... Personally, I think we should be, but what do you think it is about over motorsport?
It's so strange. I mean, like when at work, for example, you know, there's like over 700 people work at our factory, and as soon as they found out that I raced a bit of stock car racing, the amount of people that know about stock cars is like unreal.
Massive,
But then they don't seem to show it that they know, if you know what I mean. I just think, you know, we just need to get it out more, if you know what I mean. I think everybody knows about stock cars, and what they are and what they're like. But I don't think people have evolved with like what the sport has. You know, a lot of the people that know better in the older generation, when the following was massive. But I think those people have kind of backed off a bit, and the newer generation don't. You know, they don't really know what we do or what it's like. I
think I had the same when I changed jobs. It was like, stock cars is still going, is it? That's what the reaction I got.
The other thing, you know, some people that I've invited to come and watch that have never been before are like, wow, why have we never seen this, or, you know, heard of it or anything? So I think we just the sport just needs pushing more. You know, need to get out there. You know, with the social media and things that you can do these days, I think we just need to work on it a lot better. I mean, it's been good what the sport have done so far. I think this year's been great with all the social media stuff. It's been a lot better, but I still think we should do more.
Okay.
Yeah.
Brilliant. Okay, Anthony Flanagan. These are a bit jokey ones, these ones. He wants to know, do you only drink shandy? So I don't know where that's come from. Any story behind that at all?
Well, Flan's normally the one that goes to bed first. So
is he? All right. Kim, one of my lads with Team Harry, he wants free tickets for GP. What can you do for him?
I'll put him on the list.
Oh, is it a long list, is it? Yeah.
I can't even get my mum and dad in.
And Craig52 says, you owe him a pint. Him and Den. Craig and Den. 52. Yeah. You supposedly owe him a pint. And I've got one for you. Can you get me a job? I want the job of the one the guys who hold the car when they do the change of tyres. Yeah.
Or the
why do they hold the car?
So when we jack it up, we're literally like half an inch off the floor of the wheel. So if the guys react differently inside, the car rocks, because the jacks only pick up in the middle. So you need two people steadying either side.
Okay. I'd love that job. Piss of piss, isn't it, that one? I can have it. Well, it's good to hold you to that. Right. So just another new one. Michelle, thank you very much for your question. That's quite a good one, thank you. Your favourite stock car track that you've raced at? Ooh. So what's your favourite?
Are we any surface or
any surface? Yeah, she's just asking what's been your favourite.
I have to say Kings Lynn.
Yeah,
it's got to be Kings Lynn. But then that'd be my favourite shale track, and my favourite tarmac track would be Benray, definitely. Benray,
brilliant. Loads of people watching again. Right, Colin, how you doing, mate? Jordan, Michael Green, Will Hunter's watching as well. So thanks for tuning in, everybody. Brilliant. Okay, Rod has asked, in your opinion, what improvements do you think Brisca can do? So this is more going on about trying to get more people watching, etc. So you said social media. Do you think there's anything else that you can think of? And I think, Linky, this question applies as well. What can we learn from F1 GP? How they've exploded in popularity over the last 10 years or 15 years.
The hard thing with that, like, I think I've been, trying to put the two together is F1 with it being on TV. That's just the biggest, mainstream.
Well, sort of mainstream, isn't it?
That is the biggest winner. Anyone that sees anything on TV obviously gets out and gets even bigger. So, I mean, the best thing would be, I know the Premier Sports did some work with filming the races and things. If we could get that, or if more channels and things like that, just get some decent coverage and some, some proper, like, if we could get a bit of a proper routine, of every race shown or whatever, or the big championship races. I think that'd be massive, to get it out on the TV.
But do you think if Sky, say for example, Sky turned around and said, right, we want to be involved in Brisca, do you not think they would do what they did to Speedway and dictate when meetings would be shown and
they've got so much
like
power, haven't they? That's the thing. They've got so much power with the broadcasting rights and things like that. They're just going to walk all over us. That's the only problem with it.
It's trying to get a balance, isn't it?
Trying to get the balance. Yeah.
I think for me, ITV4 would be a good one because they do the BTCC and we could be on.
We could tag along with
tagged
it,
on with that, couldn't we? Sort of thing. Yeah. Excellent. Right, so we've had some GP questions come in as well, if that's all right.
Yeah.
Excellent. First of all, Pascal. From Holland, of course, was wondering about Williams. Do you think there'll be any improvements for 2020, or are they all going in for 2021 when the new rules come in?
So obviously this year has been the worst year ever, and we worked that out before we got to Barcelona, like 3 or 4 races.
I hate to say you were bottom of the table, weren't you?
Yeah. So the car, there was a fundamental problem with the car this year. We didn't do any development with it from the word go, so they're concentrating more into next year.
Okay.
But then again, like I say, with the big rule change for 21, then I don't think they're going to go like whole
100%. Yeah.
You know, put it this way, it can't get any worse than this year.
Right.
But I still don't think they're going to put everything into next year's car, because the rule change is not. I mean, the only big rule change for next year was the tyres.
Yes.
But then the teams have decided that they didn't like them.
Yeah, they kicked it out, didn't they, a couple of weeks ago? Yeah.
So it's basically same.
Okay.
Same again. So yeah, they've there's been a lot gone forward with it. The things I've seen of the car so far. But still, I don't think it's going to be amazing next year.
Okay. Rod has asked, again, Rod, another question. What is your actual position at Williams? So what do you actually do?
Brew up.
Brew up, is that head brew maker?
Yeah,
right?
Brew up, sweep up. No, I'm classed as a number one mechanic. So
okay.
There's a number one for each race car.
Okay.
And then below me then is 5 number two mechanics. So basically I'm like the man in between the engineers and the mechanics. I still get my hands dirty, still work on the car, but I'm kind of, I get told what spec to build the car. I've got to then make sure the boys build it to that spec.
Right. Okay.
Same with the setup, stuff like that. So I'm like head mechanic I was with Robert this year.
Yes.
And then obviously Robert's left, so we're getting a new driver for next year. So hopefully, if I've still got a job after Christmas, I'll be doing the same again.
Probably brilliant. So, have you ever actually had a go in a GP car? Daryl's asked that. Have you actually had a driver one? No.
I've been on the simulator.
Okay.
And then we do like a fire up and a box run, which is just the car on stands, go through the gears, but no chance of driving one.
Okay. Yeah. And Daryl has asked, is there anything from F1 GP in relation to the build of the cars, etc., that could be involved in stock cars at all, or are they completely different?
No, definitely. I mean, and I think people will be shocked at the amount of time and effort and the knowledge that go into some of these new cars. Mm-hmm. It's amazing. They are so clever. There's a lot of really clever people building the cars. They are a lot more, say, agricultural, but it's a racing car. Yeah. And they're made to go around corners fast. So it's definitely it's not they're not light years away. I know F1, it's all about money and being lightweight and stuff, but when it comes to technology and like suspension design and stuff, I think the guys who build these cars are as good as what we have at work. It's just a different sport, isn't it?
Yeah. Question from Ryan. Thanks very much for your question, Ryan. In your opinion, what could be done to make the sport more affordable for the, as we call, the working man?
As in F1 stock cars?
In stock cars, yes.
If someone will get me a cheaper engine, that'd be nice.
There's a lot of money in engines, isn't there? Yeah.
It's hard, isn't it? When it comes to motorsport, people are going to spend and spend and spend to win.
And they spend what they can, isn't it? Basically,
so, You've got to understand that when you get into it. You've got to work to your own budget. End of the day, like I was saying to Conrad earlier, you can't spend it while you're dead. So I'm going to, I'll spend every bit of cash I've got to go as fast as I can. So. Yeah.
Excellent. Good one from Daryl. If money was no object, would it be an F1 stock car or an F1 GP car?
Stock car.
Stock car, yeah?
Definitely.
100%?
Definitely, 110%.
Brilliant. That's the right answer for on a stock car website, isn't it?
Yeah.
So, brilliant. Right, we're going to go to Vicky's. We might as well get these out of the way. Yeah, I know, shake the head. Anybody else who's watching, do please just get your questions in. I'll come back to yours in a minute, Paul, because we're going to go have ask Ben about his plans for 2020 in a moment. Ricky Wilson, first one. You're the most sponsored Formula 1 driver in the history of the sport, but you only race once a year. How do you get away with that?
Well, the prices Ricky charges me to hire his car, I can only afford one race a year.
Brilliant answer. Brilliant. And you're in such a pressurised job in F1, where like a tiny mistake can cost the team. Why is it when you drive a stock car that you poo your pants? I've had to ask it.
If I didn't do that, I wouldn't even. If you don't get not scared, but if you didn't have that
butterflies,
adrenaline buzz before, then I wouldn't do it. Yeah, I just love that feeling. When I'm in the car, I'm strapped in, I'm fine. Switch off, not a problem. It's just that day before, the drive to the track, the waiting for heat one. I hate it. I just want to get in and get gone.
Get going.
Yeah. So.
I can't believe I'm asking these. Is Conrad your real dad?
I
Shall I ask Conrad? Yeah.
Look at this. I would not be. No. He's got no hair for a start. Teeth. I've got better teeth. No, not related one bit.
Right.
In fact, I don't really know him. I don't know why. I don't even know why he's here.
Right. He's just hanging around, isn't he? Yeah.
Yeah.
He's just hanging around.
Yeah.
And what was going through your mind when you missed the ferry to Holland?
I didn't
What's
miss
the
the ferry
story
to
behind
Holland.
that? All right. Okay.
Ricky missed the ferry.
Right.
But
Ricky.
that I thought that was a Ricky wind-up. So that was So I booked the ferry, booked the car and transporter on the Hull to wherever it was, and then me and Conrad was driving the motorhome from Dover to Calais the day after. They were on the party boat. So the night before, I'm sat at home, like biting on my nails and, as Ricky said, pooing my pants, to get a message from Ricky saying, we've missed the ferry. So I just thought Ricky was winding me up. But he wasn't, he'd actually
missed the ferry,
so they had to drive from Hull all the way down to Dover. So that's Ricky's fault, not my fault.
Nothing to do with you. Brilliant. Chris Fort, I don't know whether I should ask this one either. Why have you bought 2 lemons?
It's not a lemon, it's a banana if you look at the shiny leg.
All right, is it?
Well, he'll just have to wait and see when he gets on track.
Right.
See if it's a lemon then.
You can answer him then, can't you? Yeah, brilliant. So Paul Inghamels is, and a couple of others have actually put up. So your plans for 2020, okay? Yeah. So how much racing are you hoping to do? Obviously it's the work commitments first, of course. But is it going to be a case that any free weekend, or just trying to get fit it in as much as possible?
Fit it in, like I say, work comes first. Well, family comes first, then work. So I've just got to arrange around those two. If I've got a free weekend, I've got my own car, cars.
Yeah.
Then now I've got a choice of, in the past it was, if there was a Shell meeting on, I've only got a Shell car, obviously. Whereas hopefully for next year, it's not going to be early days because, like I say, we've got a lot of work to do. But it'll just be whatever meeting's on, then away we go.
Excellent.
Go, so,
I was going to ask you about what's under the tarpaulin. Is it just secret?
That's
a secret, is it?
That's a secret one.
Excellent.
With, yeah.
Well, that'll get people asking, won't it? So we'll see what they say. So just, I was trying to think of something else then. Sorry about that.
We're not bored everyone today.
No. Having really good viewing figures actually.
More than 5.
129 at the moment, which is really good for live. We've got Ryan Harrison. Hello, Ryan. Thanks for watching. So, any other questions for anybody who's watching now? Please do get them in if you can. So, just little things like in the past, then, to drivers that you maybe admire, who in past or present, who do you think? Well, I'd love to be at their sort of level.
It's got to be Andrew and Stuart Smith.
Yeah.
They're my idols, really. Yeah, used to go to a lot of meetings, used to go to the garage when Andrew was racing. Just from what he's achieved and as a person, I thought he was mega. Then obviously Stuart, it's unfortunate he stopped racing now, but as a friend as well. I used to love watching Stuart race. But for like people on track now, I mean, there's so many good drivers.
Yeah.
It's really hard to...
And they're all so young as well, half of them, aren't they?
Yeah, it is. I mean, I'd like to say Ricky Wilson, but he's not really done much yet, has he? So
he got a World Final once, didn't he? And
yeah.
That was how many years? That was 10 years ago now, wasn't it? He's not done anything since.
So my current favourite's Ricky, probably, just for the entertainment value.
Brilliant. So, Stephen sent one in. What adjustments make the most? What adjustment makes the most to the car's handling? So I'm guessing corner weights, things like that.
For these?
Yeah, for these ones, yeah.
The very far right-hand pedal.
Right, that's it, yeah.
That's the one that makes the most adjustments, I think.
Yeah, because when I'm round Jake and Nigel, when they talk about tyre pressures and things, and I'm personally thinking, how much difference can it make on a small track? I
mean, I'm still learning, with this sport. Every time we go, I pick something up or see something, so it's... Yeah, I can't really comment on that. I know to set a basic car up, but then, to actually get it dialed in and get going, I'm yet to really get into that with the minimum meetings I've done. But just to get the car comfortable, do what you want it to do. That's my aim, and then from that, just build on it and try and go faster each time.
Brilliant. And then just finally, just on the downer side about car tracks closing, etc. We've heard the news about Bellevue in the last couple of days, and then Birmingham as well. There seems to be a situation there. What do you think? Obviously, it's going to be we need to get to other tracks, but how do you think we could do that?
It's going to be. I mean, you know, it's. I've honest. You know, I had a good think about it before. You know, I'd started buying cars and things because, like you said, Stoke, Bellevue, they're like my local tracks.
Yeah.
You know, and then next one will be Birmingham. That's probably the next closest as well. So it's, you know, there's going to be a lot more travelling involved. I mean, for the guys that are racing every weekend, it's the fuel and transport costs.
Oh, it's ridiculous. Yeah.
Mental. I mean, it's not too bad for me because I'm not doing as many meetings, and you know, I don't mind the drive to Kings Lynn or wherever. You know, it's not really a problem. But end of the day, we need some new tracks. But you know, it's easy to say that.
Yeah.
But how we're going to do it, I've no idea.
No idea. Brilliant. Mark Covington's come up with one. Would the sport benefit from a driving school sort of thing for new drivers to help them get used to shell tracks, things like that, or do you think it should be just down to the driver and get on with it, sort of thing?
I mean, it'd be good. It'd be nice if you could do that, but then it's time and money again, isn't it? Who's gonna put up and do it and supply the cars, look after the track? You know, I think end of the day, you've just got to. If you want to go racing, you've got to do like what I did and just get shoveled into Heat 1 and just see how you fare, really, you know.
Mandy has asked a question about John Lund. Glad we saw him out, didn't we, last year, at the end of the year?
Yeah.
Believe he's got a refurbished car coming for this year, I understand.
I saw Sir John last night at the Fair Race party. I didn't speak to him much, a bit noisy, but I'm not sure about his a new car or whatnot. I've not really spoke about it, to be honest. So.
Well, we're hoping maybe to get him on here, so never know. We've got to be a good one.
Great, yeah.
Excellent. So just finally, what do you think? Say 10 years down the line, and you've still got your stock car. How do you think the sport would look or how would you want the sport to look in 10 years' time?
I'd want, obviously, a lot more tracks, a lot more drivers, but as you know, as sad as it sounds, the current situation, it's not looking very good at the moment. So unless we act on it and something big happens, then I can only, it's horrible to say, I can only see it all decreasing. You know, losing more tracks, losing more drivers. So it's definitely time to act and do something about it, I think.
Yeah. Excellent. Sponsors now. Do you want to mention any sponsors at all, and any of the lads who help you out, stuff like that?
Definitely. I mean, the main one is Carl at Technical Welding Services, where I keep my cars. Conrad for what he's done in the past. Obviously Ricky, the Hunters, Willem, Warren. Who else have we got? The list goes on. I mean, I have to look at me. I've got my wings on. Just see who I've got on there.
Yeah.
It's, you know, I've got so many people that have, you know, helped me out. I'm quite lucky where I'm at the minute. You know, Stuart's 2 minutes down the road. He does a lot for me. The Leaches, they're 10 minutes away. Yeah. You know, it's everyone really, everyone that's helped me get to this point.
Because that's the good thing about over racing, whatever form it is, everybody helps everybody else out, don't they? Because I've seen it at Bangers, I've seen it at F2s, I've seen it everywhere. So it's not like F1 GP where everything's so secret. It is like, as we keep saying, it's one big family, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Brilliant. So just like to thank you very much for your time, of course. I know you're busy with everything that you need to do and everything else. Do wish you all the very best for the year, and with Williams as well, of course. I'll keep my eye on the F1 GP every once in a while. So I'd just like to say thank you very much for your time. Do appreciate that. Thanks for watching, everybody. This video will be on all the usual places, YouTube, Stocksnet, etc. by this evening. I'm having a weekend off next weekend. So we won't be doing one next weekend, and then the 4th we'll hopefully got Bradley Harrison on, and hopefully Paul will be there as well. But as I just said, I'm trying to get John Lund on, hopefully, over the next couple of weeks, and Stuart maybe as well, and we've got Tom Harris as well. Just need to sort out a date with Tom, so do look out for those. I'll be announcing those on the usual places once they've been confirmed. So thank you everybody for watching. Cheers for all your questions, and any comments, please do put them on, and do appreciate any feedback from any of you at all. And I'd just like to say from me and from my Daniela, who's here today, just like to say she's running off. Just like to say Merry Christmas, Happy New Year to everybody, and we'll see you all in a couple of weeks. Thank you very much.